We tell the billionaire class they cannot have it all. For a start, they're going to start paying their fair share of taxes. They're seeing all the new income and wealth, virtually all of it, going to the top 1%. And they're looking around them, and they're looking at Washington, and they're saying the rich are getting much richer, I'm getting poorer. What are you going to do about it?
I want to make sure the wealthy pay their fair share, which they have not been doing.
The CEOs of large multinationals may like Hillary. They ain't going to like me, and Wall Street is going to like me even less.
Should corporate America love Hillary Clinton?
Everybody should.
Everybody should. It should be mandatory. The Democratic candidates taking to the stage for their last debate of 2015. But was it a battle to see who could get farthest left first? Here to react, Governor Mike Huckabee. He's running for president as a Republican. It's great to see you this morning, Governor. So at least part of what Bernie Sanders said is true. The bulk of wage gains have gone to the top 1%. What he left out is this has occurred under the most left-wing president of my lifetime. Is there a disconnect here?
There's a total disconnect, Tucker. And that's what you find so, it would be amusing if it's not just tragic for the bottom 90% of the American workers who have had stagnant wages for 40 years, largely because of the very policies that Bernie Sanders keeps pushing. The craziness of the left is that if we just keep raising taxes, that everybody's going to be more prosperous. What happens is it chases capital out of the country, people lose jobs, wages go lower than the Dead Sea, and the result is real hard-working Americans who stand on their feet all day are taking a gut punch. And it's this administration's policies that have worsened it, not made it better.
Well, that's in a global economy. It's pretty easy for a certain segment of the population to avoid taxes, isn't it? So if you raise taxes, some of us pay them, but some people are never going to.
Well, and that's why I've consistently argued for a replacement of the total tax system we have. And we need to have a consumption tax, pay at consumption. And I'll tell you what it does. Stephen Moore says it brings rocket fuel to the economy. And it does, because it brings all that $31 trillion of capital back to the U.S., makes manufacturing competitive again, means that if a worker out there working on the factory floor works twice as hard, he actually gets twice the paycheck, rather than have the government stick him in a new tax bracket and have the government steal a big chunk of his second 8 hours of the second shift. Instead of getting another shift, American workers are getting the shaft. And Bernie Sanders' proposals and those of Hillary Clinton will do nothing but make it more difficult for them to get a job, hold a job, and have a job that'll pay them a decent wage. We've got to have something different than what we have, and what we have is killing American workers.
So you've been in politics a long time, and you know Hillary Clinton, of course, personally, because you're from Arkansas.
Yes.
Do you find it a little bit strange that she is essentially tying herself to this president's policies on ISIS, which are very unpopular and demonstrably ineffective? Why doesn't she distance herself from him?
You know, it's interesting to me that she would ever tie herself to the Obama administration. She's virtually saying, if you love the last 8 years of Obama, you're really going to love me. I think that's like strapping a boat anchor around your chest and jumping off the boat and hoping to swim. I mean, I'm delighted that Hillary Clinton is going to make it so much easier for the Republican to provide the contrast, because here's the contrast. Vote for Hillary, your taxes are going up. We're coming after your guns. We probably aren't going to make you safer. And don't worry, I'm going to take all the corporate cash I can from Wall Street,
yes,
all the while pretending that I'm not. So, you know, Hillary's last line last night I thought was terrific. She's, may the force be with you. What she should have said was, may the farce be with you, because that's what she was all about last night.
Well, speaking of farces, did you think it was a little weird for Hillary to say guns don't make you safer when she spent her adult life surrounded by men with guns, paid for by you and me, the taxpayers? If she doesn't believe guns make us safer, why does she have so many men with automatic weapons around her?
Well, it's a good question, and some of the very people who guarded her when she was First Lady of Arkansas were there in the protective detail when I was governor. So I know full well the kind of weaponry that she was surrounded with, even back, 35 years ago, when she was first in the governor's mansion as First Lady. Her whole life, she's been surrounded by people who have protected her. But there are a lot of Americans who can't afford a full-time security force of several people who drive them to the events and who protect them with guns. So why is it, Hillary, that you find it so offensive that some hardworking American might want to protect himself, his family, and his home, just like you, your family, and your home are constantly protected 24/7?
That's a great question. I wish she was here so we could ask her. Governor Mike Huckabee, I hope she'll respond to you. Thanks for joining us this morning.
You bet, Tucker. Thanks.